Castleford have won the derby to deal a huge blow to Wakefield's hopes of a top 6 finish. The Tigers, who've been dreadful for the last 6 weeks, produced one of their best performances of the season. Celebrations for Castleford, celebrations for Chris Chester. They've beaten their arch rivals and they thoroughly deserved it.
Well, we've been such a good team all year. It was just so disappointing, and yeah, but then you know, I just felt like for the players, it was a kick up the backside really, that you just can't take anything for granted in this game. So yeah, as we were driving out, it was right. What do we do here? What do we need to do to make sure that next week we get exactly what we want?
Just want to say thank you all for joining us. It looks absolutely amazing in here tonight, and what a wonderful season it has been for Wakefield Trinity. I know tonight is the end of season awards night, but it's not the end of the season yet, because these team and the staff and the players have done this club very proud. So can we just put our hands together and show our appreciation? I know it was a tough night last night, and I need to get this off my chest. I actually hosted Castleford's end of season awards as well. That was back in March, so that was quite a good to be honest as well. So I've got you on side now, I heard it like that one. Donald, the final award of the evening, this one, so can you give us an idea of how good this player has been for you this season?
Yeah, well, obviously the players probably the most revered from a player's perspective. You know, coach's award I think is great, but I think everybody would want to be revered by the players themselves. You're on the field, you're battling it out with each other. Such a tough environment that these boys go out and play in. He's been special this year, I think, and this is a great award to get. So. I think he should be pretty happy with himself the way he's gone about his work.
I thought he just had an outstanding year. You know, he hardly missed a beat.
Donald, thank you as always. Can you put your hands together for the final award winner of the evening, the Players Player of the Year Award 2025, the one and only Mason Lima.
Did some unbelievable things and fully deserved it. You know, I've always felt like Mason's a super talented player.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a surprise, but obviously very honoured, especially with all the players who got it before me. Just happy that the boys sort of believed in me throughout the season. So yeah, it was a pretty enjoyable moment for me personally, and at the time of it we weren't really in the 6 yet, were we? And we had an opportunity in that before to hopefully cement ourselves, but so it was a bit, you know, up and down. But
I don't think it should have rattled us. It didn't. We had a great night. We celebrated a lot. And it gives me a chance to talk. It gives me a chance to say, hey, you know, we're not letting this season slip.
I just think we've got an opportunity still this year that, although we're on a journey and a long journey, I think it's really important that we get this season right. You know, me and Paul has both said it. We want this year to go on past the next couple of weeks, and we deserve it, boys. You know what I mean? We really do. We've put the club back on map. Let's go and do it. We keep saying it, but we've got something special. Keep growing, keep driving. You know, nights like tonight just show us what we have. Celebrate special people, whether you're staying or you're leaving. I think this is a special place that we should all feel proud to be involved in.
But we want to stand here in a week's time, don't we? And pretty much a week today, a week now. And let's get that win next week. Let's either fight KR next week and get in playoffs, yeah.
And we all collectively sort of galvanise really and move on to what's next. And I thought we did that really well. And you know, one of the most special nights of my time so far at the club was about to come up.
us a picture and an autograph, please? As well, if that's okay.
Turn around, bud. Turn around. Big smile, look.
Thank you. And a chance to
You well, yeah?
Yeah, good mate, yeah. Good. Ready for it. Glad to see you back anyway, I have missed you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Hi mate.
Buddy.
You can turn it on today, pal.
How many times do you reckon I've spoke to you this year?
26 now.
Game day, friendlies, plus meetings.
You know, before a game you're already amped up, you're hyped, you're ready to go, and Pally has a way of his words before the game to just like take you to another level again after that. So
Right, so boys, look, you know what you're going to do with the game, right? You know how we're going to play, 100%. Right, so look, this is fucking important, this boy. So, bit of a story. So, I went out with my father-in-law today for lunch, 92. Right, he was saying to me, it goes quick. He was talking about how he remembers when he was 29. Life goes like that, right? Now, I'm not trying to be depressing here, right? Your rugby career goes like that, and you think you're young, you think you're going to get opportunities, but when they come around, it's important that you take them. So I put that there because that's how many years I played really. And these were my opportunities. I played in a fair few finals, like the one that we played in last year. I played in 2 Challenge Cup finals, and won one of them. And I played in the first ever grand final. But my point is, they don't fucking come round much. And we have an opportunity here that I want us to take, and it's massive.
And this one most certainly is. How tense is this? But out they come. Now then, this is Lee's last throw with Harris. Glanville. Powell. Wigan is stretched out wide, and Holroyd puts the ball down, and that's the ball game. Distraught and disconsolate, the Leeds Rhinos. Darryl Powell, twice before he scored hat-tricks on this ground in the divisional Premiership final. Tonight he ends up on the losing side.
No, that's a true story of, you know, that game there, I played in that game and I knew I wasn't going to play in another. That's why I looked like that. I was just thinking that's it for me. I'm not going to win a grand final. That was the first one really, and you can see how special it was, and it's built up over the years here. But yeah, to the players is just, look, you can do anything you want if you really get after it.
Be f***ing winners tonight. Give ourselves a chance to be f***ing winners at the end of the season.
So you are thinking about that in your head. You're thinking we could do something here.
But we knew like this were pretty much do or die to get in top 6. We had to win, and it was important we did that. And yeah, I'm glad we give it a shot because to have a crack at a grand final, you've got to be in that top 6.
I've played in the grand final, and unfortunately we lost by a very fine margin, and it's sit with me ever since. It's sat with me. I think about it all the time, how good it would have been. The one thing I want to achieve in my career is winning a grand final. So.
When life still goes on, I can't get you straight without you by my side. I don't want to live alone. Hey, God knows, got to make it on my own. Darryl Powell, can't you see? I've got to break free.
final predictions for this one. Do we see Hull KR lift the league leader shield today, or seal the league leader shield, or do we see Darryl take a huge step towards the playoffs?
I can't imagine Darryl Powell's going to be a party pooper here, Brian. The Hull KR team are history making. They have been exceptional, and we're seeing the start of what I believe will be the most glorious period in the club's history, and it probably starts here. They'll win the league leader shield here this afternoon, this evening.
Yeah, this Hull KR side, they don't score points, they don't really concede points. I think on average 10 points conceded in the last 7 games. So if Wakefield are going to do anything today, they have to make sure they're defensively solid, because this Hull KR side are not going to concede many today.
Well, it's a full house. It is pulsating. Saturday night at the Trin, and who knows what picture we'll see at the end of all of this. House full signs are up. Squeeze in if you can. Hull Kingston Rovers on the brink of something historic, but Wakefield in touching distance of something extraordinary. Hold on to your seat, Barry McDermott.
Oh, this is a big game. It's got a big game feel about it. The atmosphere is outstanding.
I always say that Bellevue is like my favourite place to play. But like when you're coming out against a team like KR, you're at home, you got your fans screaming, the fireworks are going off. It's pretty crazy. Like sometimes you just look around, just take a deep breath, and it's pretty full on. But no, I love that feeling.
The fireworks won't just be before the match. If anything taught us, if we've learned anything last week, especially in that Hull FC, Hull KR derby, is that passions need to be controlled. It's so tight between 6 and 7. Wakefield with everything to win. Darryl Powell, the wily character that he is, will have used the poor performance last week to motivate his side. The stage is set, Dave. It should be special. Well, they are both sides who are a perfect example of rugby league renaissance, aren't they, in recent years? Suffering the indignity of relegation, but firing straight back.
Obviously you got the atmosphere, we'd had the fans behind us all year. They turned out in massive numbers at home, the atmosphere was built up nicely, and it just put everything into place that we needed, really. You know, it was our last chance. I think when you don't have another chance, that's what gets the best out of you, and it certainly did for us.
We had an opportunity there to really bring this club back up. I don't know, man, something just happened that day and everything clicked.
Wakefield under Darryl Powell, bouncing back from the second flight last year and up and challenging in the top flight this year. They both still have Old Trafford on their mind. High kick is being challenged for and drops into the hands of Truman, and Truman will score. Referee has a glance at the touch judge and he's going for the video referee, I think. Time off.
And the ball is grounded. I've made my decision.
But Jake Truman has punched to give Wakefield Trinity the early lead. How important is Mason Lino to this Wakefield Trinity side?
True. No, I don't know. Obviously, I think they kicked it dead, and then we had like a 7-tackle sit, and just remember running up the field, and I could see a couple of the middles looking a bit tired. I think we were 20 minutes in the game. I'm not sure. And then Kais got a quick play the ball for me, so it made the markers a bit disrupted, and I just saw a bit of space. I thought, why not?
It's Lino who puts the football, dashes through, and that is a try of pure genius. Lino the magician, Wakefield up in their lead.
Just sort of pin my ears back and see if I still got a bit of speed in these old legs. So.
We just went after it. You know, we put loads of things in place during the week to kind of undo their left edge, which is their strong edge, and it was at the time. Like I say, it was just a bit of belief and constant repetition, and again, just that thing in the back of your mind that this is your last chance. And we were talking about doing something special all year. You know, obviously to make the 6 after getting promoted, everyone had us tipped for bottom, and I think, you know, that KR game was the one where, you know, I gained most confidence from it. You know, I had a really good game against KR, and obviously the performance was massive for us as a group, and you know, that just rolled on into the next few weeks, and that was it for me, really. I was like, you know, showing the league what I could do, and
You know, potential's been a massive thing around me throughout my whole career, and for different reasons and injury and environments, I've probably not got to where I've expected, but you know, that is what I'm capable of, and the message was just do it all again. He said, you know, I think we were 26-0 up at half time, and you know, we didn't have to go win the game twice. You know, we'd done it at half time, and it was just about seeing the game through, really.
We'd messed up the week before, hadn't we? We thought we'd let it slip, and then we were wrote off by everyone saying, you know, Wakefield have ruined their opportunity now. Hull FC are going to get the playoff spot and things, so it was a big, obviously my French here, but a big fuck you to them.
Us knowing that we could beat them was all we needed.
As long as we believe that we can do it, then it don't matter about outside noise. I don't think we took too much notice of outside noise. That don't mean anything to us, and we believed as a team, and yeah, it showed that we got the win.
It was, you know, our last home game of the year, and we had such a massive turnout. The importance of the game and just how the boys played, really. I think we showed everyone that we can play some good footy when we're on. So
you know, that's the team we can be. The fact that we were in front and we knew it, and we could just play the game at our tempo and play the game at their end of the field too.
I went 3 bars. John Smith. I think you should have walked in with one then. That's calm who walked in. I'm just going to say, lads, right, that is the proudest I've ever been as owner at club. Yeah, we've done some good shit in the last 2 years, but that is the proudest I've ever been. Yeah, you get in. You get in, boys.
Boys, how was that? Good. Good. That first half's as good as we played. I know they're talking about, you know, they didn't feel like they were great, but I just thought from minute 1 to minute 40, just completely dominated the game.
You know, you're looking for them clicking moments throughout the year. You want an 80-minute performance. We clicked in that first half, and we ripped them to pieces.
Right, Maxi, let's go.
Not bad for a Saturday night work, is it?
Not bad, mate. Play, boys.
Who won that? That was.
Mate, that try was unreal, mate. It was class.
Is there an explanation for turning around last week into a night like tonight? Like, how did you switch it so fast?
Yeah, like I said it was theirs. Then we've obviously been a little bit disappointed over the last 5-6 weeks how we've been playing. You know, been very inconsistent. So, and we knew how big of a game tonight we're going to be. You know what I mean? We knew that the atmosphere were going to be massive, and obviously with them potentially winning the league leaders and us needing to win to try and get a playoff spot. You know what I mean? We just knew that we had to look at a few things during the week that we haven't been great at and change. And I thought we did that perfect tonight. Thought we played how we kind of started the season. You know what I mean? We moved the ball around a lot, and defensively, we just looked solid.
Is it possible to put into words what makes nights like that happen? Things.
Well, yeah, so many different things. It's you know, the coming together of a group of players and coaching staff, and all the messages that you give, and the trust and honesty and belief that you have in the group. It's all about your culture and what you've built, what you've grown, what you've been consistent with throughout the year. And then when all these things come together, and a team is full of talented players who are highly motivated, then you know it's you can do special things. You know, and I thought it was an outstanding night. As we roll on to the end of this, we don't quite get what we want, but these special nights, these events, these experiences grow you for what's to come, and they're important. You know, the building blocks towards even huge disappointments are building blocks towards what you do next. Probably the most important ones, to be honest. You can ask OKR that, you know, the year before they get beat in the grand final, and then lo and behold they go and win it this year. You know, they say you got to lose one to win one. You know, we got a kind of a lesson later on in the season in that regard, I thought. But yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night, and you know, I just think it showed the boys what they were capable of, and I can see already in pre-season that, you know, some of those lessons have been taken on board.
Packet of crisps for the rest of your life, what would it be? What flavour?
Oh, it has to be one flavour?
Well, yeah, I'm going with that. What are you?
I like them, Humbugs.
Yeah, I like them egg maxes.
Oh yeah, they're good. Do you reckon you'll have that though for the rest of your life?
Did you know though, the Pringles are crisps?
Yeah,
They've got not enough.
They're not made out of potato.
Yeah, there's not enough potato in them to call them a crisp.
Yeah.
Cadbury chocolate. Chocolate. Elmley cream. You know Elmley cream? That's not cream.
Salford's a proud history club, and you know the way the communication had gone from their owners and the whole situation they had to endure, you know, eventually it reaches boiling point, doesn't it, before people start taking action into their own hands.
you went into that game, you got to put a performance in, you got to, play well. But you had that, that feeling of a bit of sadness for them with what they've gone through this last year.
There were a lot of noise around Salford, so it was pretty hard as a player, It was a bit of like a togetherness, I suppose, between both fans. So, different, but like I said, we had to go there and do a job, and we did.
We want our club back! We want our club back! We want our club back!
I want to thank each and every one of you for turning up to this match. It's been incredible. Thank you to all the Wakefield fans that have joined in. Also,
You couldn't quite you couldn't get the magnitude of it before the game of what it was going to become. But it was really difficult. We started the game, it wasn't great. I felt for Salford and the fans and everything about a rugby league club that's that's unbelievably good. So I felt for them. But I just wanted to get out the other side of it, to be honest. Get away with all the players being healthy and nothing happening crazy on the field.
The fans, they deserve to be angry. The way it was, they were treated and the way everything was dealt with. So, and then when that happened, there's a certain way to do things, but they're there to make a stand. They wanted to be heard, and I think they were. And obviously, I've never really experienced anything like it, a pitch storming. So, it was a very strange environment to me.
Attention please, attention. This is Trinity. Will all spectators leave the pitch immediately? That's all spectators to leave the pitch immediately. Thank you.
No one was there to hurt anyone. There was no bad feelings towards us. So when people were saying, "Oh, I was a bit anxious," thinking someone was going, no one had bad intentions towards players. So no one said anything or did anything, aggressive.
In the finals.
Mental.
Mate, that was chaos.
Boys, I just thought it was carnage at the start when, as we said at half time, I just thought the way you've managed that second half there is that's outstanding. That you completely controlled it. Thought we kicked great. Our defence was class, and just the way you went straight through, almost thought it was an outstanding second half performance. But we managed that well. We've just given ourselves a great opportunity next week, haven't we? Yeah. Let's get after it, eh? Yeah. Just got an awesome opportunity. I don't see any reason why we can't get to a grand final, boys. Really don't. It'll be tough, eh? No, it'll be tough. But I've been watching those games back against Lee, Challenge Cup, the one before we beat them over there. The game at home, nothing in them. There's nothing in them at all. So we should feel confident going into next week that we can get over the top of them, boys.
We've shown it this year. Leeds, Lee, Hull KR, Wigan, we've done them all. So you just need the right us to turn up and do it. And in playoffs, I think playoffs, I've only done it once in 2023. It brings the best out of everyone. I think we just need to go in it, all guns blazing, start fast, do what we do, and hopefully we'll get it there.
It wasn't a bad day. Obviously we already knew we'd made playoffs at that point, but we just needed a pretty solid performance heading into the week after. But like I say, that helps as well. Going from scoring against KR in a good game the week before, go and have another good game, scoring a hat-trick before heading into a playoffs game. It were pretty much the perfect form heading into the biggest game of the season.
So Wakefield march on into the playoffs. They beat Hull KR last week, the top dogs. They've beaten the cellar dwellers this week, and Wakefield dominated them physically before exhibiting their skills and running in try after try after try. And here are the fixtures next week. On Friday night, 7:13 p.m, it is Lee Leopards against Wakefield Trinity. Loser goes home. It's good night from Salford, and join us next week for the thrills of the playoffs.
Such a lead. This is the encore extra scenes. Owen's working overtime now, boys. We got another 3 weeks, Owen.
There's nobody would have thought that we would get there, apart from us. To be honest, I spoke about it all year. Spoke about odds, top 6, 6 to 1, all sorts of stuff. That I just constantly drip feeding belief and confidence into the boys that we could do it.
I don't know if you can remember that, but I sort of built it around 6. So just go through that. So what I said, it's that. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's what everybody were thinking about, was that put us bottom of the table. To get 6, I think, is a big achievement, boys. I think you've gone after this season in such a positive way. Been awesome, so does it, Nelly? Obviously that, I asked you that question, you said it was. You've been true to your word in how you've approached everything.
The focus was on Lee, but we had the confidence that we just knocked over the league leaders and Challenge Cup winners and potential favourites for the league. So we were more than capable in our own belief.
Okay, so where we get to now, it's like that's gone, hasn't it? That's gone. We were just talking about, I think it was Shenny's point. If I'd have said to you, this is your route to a grand final at the start of the year, you go, oh, I forgot that. Would you agree with that?
We've got a team that we all wanted to win, and we wanted to win a grand final, like everyone does. But we had that belief, and that KR game, that KR win, boosted it, and we were full of confidence, thinking, we changed a few things, and we'll probably get over the line against them. But yeah.
Nothing between the teams. You look at all the stats. There's nothing between the teams at all. I think we're a better team. I think they've got some real powerful individuals that you've got to deal with well, but I think we're a better team. And boys, you imagine that, just take yourself forward a week and you're going, right, we've got one game against Hull KR to get to a grand final. Our team, we've just made one change. We're just starting Griff. Obviously Rocky's the obvious one with Maxwell now.
Yeah, so I obviously played at Cass, didn't have my best game. It was a bit of a weird game really, because I scored a couple of tries, set one up as well, but I made a few mistakes as well, so I knew kind of that probably wasn't going to be in the week after against KR, but yeah, just wanted to keep training well, making sure that I'm ready if I'm needed and if I'm called upon. And then obviously the Salford game happens and Max goes down quite early, and my initial thoughts really were, me as well as all the other boys are hoping that Max passes there. Obviously he's a big miss for us, a big part of the team, so yeah, I think we were all gutted, and having a little chat with him while he was sat there, I think he said it was going to be his first time to get to play in the playoffs, so yeah, I was obviously gutted for him, and all the boys just tried to get round him really, but then, like I said, that realisation that you're going to potentially play again the next week, you got to start focusing on that.
We want to defend as positive as we can. We look a little bit more at some of their structure on Wednesday.
We have a few boys that shoot out, like to be aggressive individuals. Then he likes to shoot forward and then retreats, turns his hips out, runs to the sideline. Last one. Just what playoff mentality is. We spoke a lot about patience, haven't we, and pressure. That's been really key. Our last play is now the transition. What do you think?
No pressure, complete high.
Play with confidence. Go out there, no pressure on ourselves. That's fine out there. Back there, we're just pulling plays together. And you see there, we have like a little bit of a short side of a tap option. So there's no reason why this week we can't go out and try and execute it. Don't leave anything out there for us to win.
Yeah, play it our way, innit? Yeah. If you can offload the ball, keep playing our way, but then finish in that box left.
Even if we don't start the set great, stuff like that's massive, isn't it? We can end it. We can end it good.
We just stay nice and relaxed this week. Make sure we train well. In a great place, eh? All pressure's on them. We roll up there and get after them. Exciting.
Well, confident, obviously, you know. I mean, you look at that, I'm just going, well, look, we have to play well. We have to be at our best. But why not?
You did something quite deliberate before the game kicked off. I just want to get your thoughts on that. Yeah, well, I thought that the support had been immense all year. We were so well supported, and the one thing I'd say about the Wake fans is they give you something before you give them something, and I think that's the best thing I could ever say about fans, because they're not waiting for players to play outstandingly well. You know, they're giving you energy, they're giving you noise, they're giving you a vibe that they're with you. So yeah, so that was me just connecting, really, saying, look, we thank you for your support. I think they know that the boys gave everything, you know, and they're special, you know. I think fans are special. They're our lifeblood. They're why we're here, really, you know. Clubs, connection, community, you know, playing for the town, playing for the badge, playing for each other. And being connected, I think, is huge, and I think we've got something special going in that regard. So that's the only reason I did it, really, was to make them feel like we were with them and we were pleased that they were with us.
We've got a real chance here. Like, yeah, it were pretty surreal, but we had all confidence that we were going to give it his best shot.
Yeah, it was mental walking out in a stadium like that, yeah, knowing what's on the line.
they were the better team on the night. They controlled as well. They did everything they had to do, and they came out on top. And full credit to them. They played a great game.
Yes, the Leopards have utterly dominated the first 40 minutes of the 2025 Betfred Super League elimination playoff game with Wakefield Trinity. The visitors have not had a shot.
You know, it was a bit of a spark of hope, you know, to try and make a bit of a comeback, but you know, just to be able to score in a game like that against players that, you know, that Lee have. And then obviously my parents were sat in the corner and I scored right in front of them, you know, to hear them chanting and then the crowd chanting and stuff, you know. It's nice to hear the atmosphere sort of buzz up, you know, when it's sort of dulling down, when the game's not really got much of a flow in it. But yeah, it was a crazy experience for me, yeah.
Yeah, it was just nice to get over. You know, it was finished my season off pretty well, and you know, scored in front of the fans, and it was just a bit of recognition that they'd stuck with us the whole game. And you know, obviously they were disappointed, but also pretty proud at the same time of what we turned out throughout the whole year and that playoff game. And I think looking forward to 2026, you know, we'll be much better for that experience.
And when that final siren goes, you know, you've got the initial disappointment and upset and things like this, and then obviously, without trying to sound cheesy, you look down the pitch and you've got 2,000 Trinity fans there, and you know, they'd all come out in support, and not one person was down or saying, oh, you know, I should have beaten them. Everyone was like, what a year.
They pushed us on, they spurred us on, but obviously we fell short. But like you just said, it was good to see them, you know, at the end still celebrating, still cheering.
For players to look up and see that and hear that, and to see that they're still with us, I think it's key, because you get games where you don't go your way and you're disappointed and you don't play well, and everybody wants to play well, but you've got a team on the other side of the field that might be just better than you, and that's what happened on the night. And but yeah, the fans are unbelievable all year. And
no one ever likes that feeling, you know, when your season's over.
To have reached the playoffs was a big goal of ours. Unfortunately, we fell at the first hurdle, but all in all, I think we picked up some valuable experience for this year coming.
Season's about to kick off again. What's this team capable of this year?
Anything really.
We'll try to keep goals in house, but you know, 6 is going to be a minimum. You know, if not pushing for 4.
I think if you look at the overall picture, it was a good achievement, but yeah, we want to go one further than that this year, and I think our aim is to achieve something together and be successful. You know, we're all in this game to win trophies, so
getting in the top 6 gives you a chance to win something. Ultimately, it's about winning something.
Grand finals, challenge cups, whatever it is, we'll push for them all, and hopefully, yeah, we can get one this year.
Really, for us, the sky's the limit. You know, we sort of got wrote off last year before we even started, and shocked everyone. So I think it's going to be a big year this year. Yeah.
And then, you know, we're a year older, a year smarter, a year more bonded together.
There's no limits. You know, there shouldn't be a limit on what we can achieve, and of course, every team will be saying that during pre-season. So for us, it's just hit the ground running, take each game as it comes, and you know, come the end of the season, we'll see where we're at.
The one thing you can't do is think that anything that happened last year is going to do anything for you next year, and that's important.
And someone like yourself, we've got lads that have been across different generations here, but you've seen Wakey at the lowest. What was it like seeing us back to where we feel like the club should be?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, if you told me 3 years ago that this was going to be what it is now, I probably would say you're lying, but just it's all down to Matt and his family, innit? The way they've turned this club around and the way they brought this community together again. And it's made people want to come watch us, and it's made players really want to come play for them. I think we showed that this year, and we showed that we're still hungry. We know that we can't stop there though.